Dobro jutro, Divine Pisces 222. It is Wednesday, February 5th, 2020. So, I know, and I'm actually really surprised that this hasn't been, like, a thing that people have been wanting. I know, I'm doing the weekly Twin Flame discussions, live discussions. And I think the next one we're going to do, I'm going to actually have a poll on the two highest voted on and see which one you guys want to do on Sunday. But I'm actually surprised I haven't seen anybody, like, suggest the runner-chaser and that sort of thing, the runner-chaser dynamic. I guess we all kind of equate that to separation, but it's not really. Because I actually had an, epiphany. It was either yesterday or the day before. I had somebody email me, and they know who they are, but I'm not going to say their name because they didn't give me permission to, but talking about the original runner and who was the original runner, and I had an epiphany the other night. I'm pretty sure I ran first. So it's interesting. But, alright, let's get this. Sorry if you hear my baby in the background. She's actually watching a movie, and sometimes she talks to the screen, so, beg pardon. Alright, so, yeah, so we've got, third-party situations, high-level commitments, marriage, whatever. This can also represent just, any sort of, like, partnership or anything like that, that is coming up that's karmic, in nature, karmic cycles, that sort of thing. So it doesn't have to be a person. It could be an addiction. It could be a job, maybe a business partner, whatever, is coming up, and it's the first card out, right? And I feel like what's happening here in some of these situations, there's a lot of, like, effect on the health. And I know I've said this before, where some of these situations are so toxic, and the despair and the frustration and the depression so real, so, like, impactful, that it's actually affecting health. Okay, so some of you are being affected by these situations here, physically. Okay, not just mentally and emotionally, but physically. It's physically hurting you being in these situations. It's like the suppression of the emotions, the suppression of the toxicity, the happy, smiling, smile and nod nonsense. It's literally killing you from the inside. Okay, so some of you are here. Okay, and some of you are recognizing it, some of you aren't. But I also feel some of you do have this as an influence. Some of you have like a father figure or a mature male in your life that has a lot of influence over you, or you're dependent on them, whether that be financially, or, you're dependent on their point of view, you're dependent on their opinion, what have you. But also, to me, this is also representing to me, it's like some of these transformations that are happening, some of these situations that are happening, it's like forcing specifically Divine Masculine to basically grow up. Okay, because a lot of them have been operating in fear. A lot of them have been operating, in this, like, inner child, insecurity realm that's coming up, so it's like they're afraid to kind of step out of that. They just, it's like they're dwelling on some of the stuff that happened to them when they were kids, like these inner child things when they come up, it's really hard to kind of get out of that cycle, because you get into this cycle of, why was I never good enough? Why did everybody hate me? I never understood why people pushed me away, why people shunned me, so on and so forth. And actually, Soul Mission brought up something very interesting, and I hope he explores this on a video or something like that, talking about how we're actually taking on karma that isn't ours. Those of us who have stepped into this role, and yes, everybody's a twin flame, but there's a certain amount of twin flames that are actually supposed to be stepping up and supposed to be doing certain things, certain work, specifically for this journey. And it's like, a lot of us were victimized when we were kids, not playing the victim, but literally, shunned, victimized for who we were, even sometimes by our own parents or by our own families, people we thought were friends, a lot of betrayal. Basically it's like suppression. Basically it was like people trying to suppress you for who you were, to the point where you got to, at one point I was suicidal, things like that. So it's almost like we're basically, what he said was like, we're taking on karma that isn't ours. It's like we're getting other people's karma and we're serving that karma. Does that make sense? So yes, karma is a very real thing. What you put out is what you get, and yes, like in past lives and stuff like that, there are lessons that you're learning in this life. But a lot of us that are meant for this role, that are coming to recognize, yes, some of the karma that we're serving right now, or some of the karma that we had served when we were younger, was not actually ours. We were serving our parents' karma. We were serving ancestral karma. We were serving people's karma that was around us. It's like they were projecting their karma onto us, and then we served it for them. So it was a really interesting conversation. I hope he kind of goes more in depth in that in a video at some point, because it's really, really interesting concept, and it actually rings very, very true. So I do feel that the connection itself, like I think I said this yesterday, has kind of taken on a new facet. I feel like a lot of twins, yes, you're in separation right now, but it's like the 5D. The 5D is really picking up here. I feel like the 5D pull and the 5D connection is incredibly, incredibly strong right now, guys. And it's like, this is one of the most important things here. Yes, it's skipping. Divine truth. Yes, we all want like 3D union and whatnot, but really, really, I think right now what's happening is we're being forced to develop the 5D connection, the spiritual connection, the psychic connection, that sort of thing. And I do feel that this is growing for a lot of twins right now. This is growing for a lot of twins. And you may be actually noticing this. You may actually notice that your intuition is stronger, your telepathic communication is stronger, dream messages, song messages, things like that. And it's like, basically it's like it's pushing you to realize that nothing is gone, nothing has been taken away. Nothing has been taken away. This is still here, and it's not going anywhere, no matter what you do. I'm sorry. It's not. I get questions like that. How do I disconnect? How do I make this go away? You can't make it go away. You can't. Yeah. This brought home to me a really long time ago. You cannot make this go. You can't make this go away, guys. You can't. Okay, sorry about your luck. That was the biggest tip off for me, because I usually can release things fairly easily, and there was just no way. It just wasn't going away, right? So it's like highlighting here that nothing is missing, guys. And I feel like a lot of you are just kind of in contemplation right now. You are thinking, you're manifesting, some of you are overthinking right now. You're kind of overthinking the situation, this whole. Well, if he, especially like maybe Divine Feminine, you're like, well, if he's so unhappy here, right, and it's affecting his health here, why doesn't he just step up, right? Why doesn't he just admit what's happening and go with the flow like I've been doing, right? Because I feel like, a lot of my time has been wasted, or, I feel like something has been taken from me, and so it's like you're sitting here ruminating over all of this, right? But Divine Feminine, you have some stuff you need to work out too, right? Right? It's not just Divine Masculine, Poor Divine Masculine. I feel like, a lot of times Divine Masculine, they get a bad rep. And it's another reason I feel like they have a short end of the stick sometimes with this journey, is because everybody's like, beating up on Divine Masculine. I'm like, don't beat up on Divine Masculine. He's got his own set of issues he's working out. Focus on you, right? So speaking of Divine Masculine, it's not funny. I'm sorry. It's just like, yeah, see, look, Divine Masculine's just in a low place right now, guys. I'm telling you, they're hitting rock bottom. A lot of them are hitting rock bottom. They have to hit rock bottom. They've gone down the rabbit hole. They've gone down the rabbit hole, right? And And it's like they don't know how to get back. And it's like their spirit guides are like, yeah, over here. Hey, come this way. Come on. Come on. Come join us. You know, you're not alone. Come join us. Divine Masculine's like, well, I don't want to go amongst mad people. Spirit guide's like, well, you can't help that. We're all mad here. Yes. So Divine Masculine is just like hitting rock bottom right now. A lot of them, yes, they are recognizing this uneven exchange in their life, the fact that they've treated people unfairly. A lot of them, again, still getting their karma right now, trying to work out their karma, but a lot of them are reliving some inner child stuff, and it's very, very difficult, okay? Especially if you know, like I said at the beginning of the video, oh, just saw 11, 11, how do you like that? At the beginning, and this equals 11. Ah! Sorry, I just thought it was funny. Okay, so it's like a lot of them are just reliving some childhood stuff, and especially if they were victimized when they were younger, they're not really quite sure why they were treated the way they were treated. You know, they were misunderstood, or maybe, you know, like, as an example, maybe, like, people always thought they were lying even when they weren't. You know, so taking on this guilt of, well, why don't people believe me? Is there something about me that's disingenuous? You know, things like that. So Divine Masculine, very, very triggered by this. Very, very triggered. And some of them are recognizing not only just uneven exchanges in their life, but uneven exchanges between them and Divine Feminine as well. Okay, so there's just a lot of guilt coming in. Very, very triggered. Very, very triggered. And they're very much in their heads about it. Right? A lot of them just, yeah, trying to figure out how to overcome this. How to overcome this trigger. Okay? You know, and they want to claim victory here. Right? But it's just like they can't seem to get out of their head. They can't seem to get out of their head right now. They also feel like things were stolen from them. They were treated unfairly. You know, and some of them are, you know, feeling some sort of resentment in the connection. Maybe not necessarily toward Divine Feminine, but they're feeling some resentment here, you know, because they were like, well, you know, this illusion that I lived my entire life, I was perfectly fine. I was fine. I was fine. Right? Ignoring the signs, ignoring the red flags, you know, listening to what other people had to say, right? But all the while, Divine Masculine just perpetuating this cycle over and over and over again. And a lot of them are just in their heads about it. Okay? Some of them feel stupid. Some of them are like, how could I have been so dumb? How did I get myself in this situation? Why can't I get out? Help me get out. Help me get out. Help me get out. Right? So, but it's like in the meantime, they're just like, yeah, no, I'm good. Fine. Yeah. I'm manly. I can suppress my emotions. You know, I don't have to deal with anything. Out of sight, out of mind. I'm putting on my boundary. I'm not talking to you. Out of sight, out of mind. But you know what? It's always going to be there, dude. Sorry. But it is, all right? So Divine Masculine, you know, trying to step up. I feel like a lot of Divine Masculines are still trying to do the right thing. They are. And this is not a bad thing, Divine Feminine. You know, a lot of them are trying to do the right thing. They may be doing it for the wrong reasons, but they are trying to do the right thing. They're trying to be better people. Okay? That's the whole point. Some of them aren't understanding the whole aspect of self-love, though. Some of them are kind of torn with this concept. They're like, well, you know, loving myself is selfish. I've been told that, you know. I've been told that if I think of myself first, that I'm a selfish person. I should think of others first. So it's like this constant back and forth, like, well, you know, do I think of myself or do I think of somebody else, you know? And a lot of them are sacrificing themselves for their families or for their children or for their job or for expectations, whatever. They're just sacrificing themselves because they feel like that's the right thing to do. Okay? And eventually it's going to get to the point where they can't make that stand. That won't stand anymore. Again, the towers will come down because there is no integrity, because they're not being their authentic self. Right? And what happens when that happens? The purge comes. So a lot of them are suppressing a purge too. A lot of them are suppressing a purge right now. Okay? So Divine Feminine, you may be feeling that. They may be sending you that energy in order to purge it. You do what you gotta do. Like, if you've gotta cut that off, do it. Okay? If you feel like it's draining you to purge for your Divine Masculine, Don't do it. Tell them in the 5D they need to deal with it themselves. You're done. You're drained. Okay? Well, Divine Feminine, I feel very confused about her own emotions right now. I do feel that. I feel like there's a disconnect here. You're not really quite sure, what you're feeling, whether you're feeling it from your masculine, whether you're feeling it from you, whether you're feeling it from other people around you, whatever. You're just kind of like, well, there's a disconnect here. I'm not sure what I'm feeling. You're feeling something. I'm getting the heart chakras opening up for a lot of Divine Feminines, and it like maybe throwing you in a fit of confusion. Okay, well, what am I feeling? Okay, who am I feeling this from? All right. And it's like Divine Feminine knows she needs to move forward, knows she needs to kind of get through this, but she's just kind of like, I'm so triggered too. I am so triggered, and the triggers are going back and forth. And I was like, I don't know what to do here. I don't know what I'm feeling. There's so much confusion around me right now. What's up? Who is who? What's up? What is what? Right? Which way do I go? Right? Do I keep chasing this little flying pig here? This little flying pig, even though everybody tells me I'm crazy? Right? Or do I stay here? Right? Do I wait for this wave to come, or do I move forward? Right? Divine Feminine's like, well, I was ready. I was fine. Everything was fine. And all of a sudden, this confusion kind of showed up. This confusion showed up. This conflict showed up. This inner conflict showed up. And, the idea of, like... I can't remember who said it. It's going to drive me nuts. But the idea that external conflict is a reflection of what's going on inside. Who was it that said that? I want to say it was Made for Love. If you haven't checked out Made for Love, do it, please. She's amazing. I've had a couple of readings from her, and she's on point all the time. But anyway, side note. So yeah, it's like basically the external, the conflict that's going on around you, Divine Feminine, and Divine Masculine too. So there's conflict going on around you externally. It's a reflection of what's going on the inside. Okay? And when I heard that, I thought it was incredibly profound, and it's true. It's true. Because the way that you change things is energetically. It comes from within first. You change here. You focus here. You connect here. And then you project. Does that make sense? So if somebody's projecting drama onto you, somebody's projecting fear onto you, somebody's projecting insecurities onto you, it's because they have insecurities inside. Right? So what's the best thing to do here? Evaluate why you're triggered by this. How are they triggering you? Why are they triggering you? Do you, walk away? I used to be one of the most defensive people you will ever meet. And to be fair, again, not playing the victim, but yes, like growing up, it was just like constant. Like we're constantly things I was doing wrong, things I was being told was wrong with me. Even though I didn't feel like I did anything wrong, I was just being myself, and that for some reason pissed people off. So it was like over time, I got to the point where I was just so defensive that it was like before people could come at me, I was just in bitch mode already. Thus the resting bitch face. I mean, that's just something I developed over time. It's a defense mechanism, right? And a lot of us have this, right? So I've learned over the course of this journey, to just let it go. Just let it go. Somebody's dealing with something internally. They're going to project externally, but you know what? I don't need to let it affect me. You don't need to let it affect you, Divine Feminine. If it's coming from your masculine, it doesn't matter. Don't let it affect you like that, okay? Stand your ground. You know your strengths. Your foundation is secure, right? You know what you're about, okay? Don't let people throw you off. Don't let people push you off your throne or whatever you want to call it, okay? And stop being deceptive with yourself here. That it's all on Divine Masculine. It's not. It's not. You have your own stuff to deal with, Divine Feminine. Stop dwelling in this. Like I've seen so many comments, not particularly just on my channel, but just on in general on other people's channels and stuff like that, where A lot of Divine Feminines are just like, well, my Divine Masculine, you know, he's a player, he's a cheater, he meh. Yeah, okay. All right. So why are you letting it affect you? Why are you letting it affect you like that? Why are you so hateful towards your masculine? What is it that you're hateful towards yourself for that you have to project onto your masculine? What is your masculine showing you about you that you need to heal? Ah. Right? Okay. Let's see what's going on. Let's look at the connecting energies. Well, duh. Throat chakra. Yeah, a lot of throat chakra is really closed off right now. Okay. Just do some clearings. But Divine Masculine, there's so much truth being held back here. There is a lot of truth being held back here. But you know what, Divine Feminine? You're doing the same thing. There's something that you're refusing to say or to admit, possibly to yourself. There's some sort of truth that you are hiding here, okay? So both of you, both counterparts right now are being urged to release this, release the drama, release the toxicity, release it before it harms you, right? Release it. Focus on the 5D. Focus on the 5D union. Okay? That's important, especially if you're in mission. 5D union is incredibly important when you're in mission because believe it or not, your counterpart does help you. I get a lot of insight from my Divine Masculine. I do. Okay? I get a lot of epiphanies from him. He shows me a lot of things that just make me go, ah! You know? So whether or not he realizes it, he's helping me pretty much all the time. Okay? So keep that in mind, Divine Feminine or Divine Masculine, whoever you are watching here. Your counterpart will help you. Your counterpart does help you. Focus on the 5D, okay? Yeah, karma. A lot of karma being served right now between the twins, okay? Now, this is between the twins. This is around the twins. What have you. There's just a lot of karma coming up right now, okay? So deal with it. It's happening. Karmic cycles are ending. It just is. Karmic cycles are ending, guys. Okay, there is movement. Look, there's movement happening. Now, this could be physically. Some of you could physically be moving. But there's movement. Movement. Okay? Don't think that you're sitting still because you're not. The wheel is turning constantly. Okay? If you're lost, you're going to be found. Okay? Some of you have already come out of that lost energy, which is good. But, you know, you're being guided. You're being protected. You're not really lost. Not really. You think you're lost. But some twins are feeling lost right now. I'm not going to lie. Especially some Divine Masculines. But you know what? There are a lot of Divine Feminines out there. I'm telling you. There's so much confusion right now. It's going back and forth. So messages from your counterpart. Yeah. Stop asking this question. Sexual energy coming out again. Oh, your 5D communication, guys. It's like ever increasing. Alright. Messages and advice from Source. Yeah, some of you have been trying to hide behind work or hide behind something else, escapist tactics, okay? So kind of need to get out of that energy, okay? So you're being encouraged to, well, be happy. Be happy. Find something that makes you happy, okay? And just, yes, this has been a slow process, absolutely, but you know what? It's worth it. So just take your time, do what you need to do, move forward. Balance is coming. A lot of you are already feeling this right now. Balance, stability, right? Some of you are lacking this. Some of you are lacking this, but you're being pushed to move forward towards this, okay? You and your counterpart right now, you're just on different pages, and that's perfectly fine, okay? They have stuff they need to work out. You have stuff you need to work out, so just, take it in stride, move forward accordingly. And some of you are obsessing. Stop. Stop. Okay? That's codependency. Alright? Alright, guys, I hope this helped. If it has, please like, share, subscribe. And I guess I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.